learned these tools. I've learned these tools.
Let me talk!
To be able to attack people and to bring out their inner side. When you establish a straw man and start doing these tactics, it's psychological warfare at its finest. It's psychological warfare at its finest.
Seems like it's been a bit of a bad time for Lee Veltman lately, and rightly so. Yeah, I support what this channel's doing for sure, but don't stop there. So I'm going to join in next.
You need to do a post-analysis, man.
Listen. You know what? I predict Lee Veltman just fucking all over the place, just fucking jizzing. Just jizzing.
Buckle up.
That's it. It's going to be a wild ride, ladies and gentlemen. And Jiggy.
It's going to be.
I'm taking my pants off.
It's been a roller coaster since day one, baby.
What happens in their private life is their private fucking life. It has nothing to do with me. I'm here for the facts about the grifters and the conners and the liars and the snake oil salesmen. That's it. I don't give a fuck about people's fucking personal lives and what they're doing unless they're fucking lying and conning and grifting and selling snake oil. So again, keep paranormal hood out of your mouth.
Keep paranormal hood out of your mouth. Wow.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. I hope not to take too much time, but I do want to address the live stream that Paranormal Hood did about me, where he, let me see. I think I have a screenshot of like the actual thumbnail of it. Let me just find that here for a second. Oh, okay, yeah, because I made a Twitter post about it last night, just by the way it was phrased. I'm just gonna, and then also Smoke King decided to make commentary on it and share it on his YouTube channel in the photograph area. But this is how he titled the show. Okay, so I'm sharing this. And I made a tweet about it, but the title, here's my image, right? Obviously, I'm not happy there. That's from yesterday's live stream. And it says, the fact seekers show nothing but dumb fucks at the bottom of the rabbit hole. So basically, and my point was, and I said this, I said, hey, Paranormal Hood, call me a dumb fuck in the title of your YouTube video. While displaying my image isn't cyberbullying at all. All you've done is prove my argument. Now guess who's the dumb one? Think real hard. That was my response, because that is abuse. When you actually, take somebody's YouTube channel, you talk about them and you call them a dumb fuck. And the title is derogatory and it's an insult. And it really shouldn't be acceptable on YouTube. I don't really think it is. And as a matter of fact, I think it should be reported, to be honest with you. And I think if you were to take me to court, this would be a really good screenshot in my case to prove the abuse that's coming from you and your channel. So I think that was a really stupid thing to do. And you know what? You can take your video down if you want to, but the fact that I've screenshot it as it was it's now in time, right? Okay, so I didn't really watch the live stream last night. I actually did have an assignment in my journalism class to get done, and the last time I went through the harassment and bashing from Paranormal Hood, the first time, I actually had to turn in. It affected my school a little bit during that week. Now, it didn't affect me enough to where I didn't recover from it, and that my grade point average is going to suffer from it. But it did happen. I go to ETC leadership for my anthropology class, and my ETC leader noticed that I was missing. She asked me what was going on. I let her know that I was being cyberbullied on the internet. And so it has been like, it has affected my my school. It still has also, I hate to say it, but some of the things that Sarah Rachel Adams has done, because she has also, and I have screenshots on that too as well. Okay, so let's get to some of the things that, from what I understand though, because I have been told about some of what happened on that show. And if I'm wrong, then correct me. But to my understanding, Smoke King is, and I've also heard some of the things that he's already said about me, but he's accusing me of dishonoring or saying negative things about Jiggy post his death, which is not true. I've never said anything disparaging about him. And as a matter of fact, there's even one of my shows here where after he did pass away that I gave my condolences to him, even though I don't know him. See, here's the thing. I didn't know your channel. I mean, I know that you might think that, you know, that I was a follower, or that I'm like, you know, a groupie of the UFO media or something. I'm not. All right. I don't even think that I had watched even a full episode. I really didn't know much about Jiggy. I didn't know anything really. What I noticed was that Lee Veltman, okay, and you guys, from what I understand, you're saying that Charles from Project Camelot was the person who came to me and showed me about Lee Veltman. That is not correct. First of all, I'd like to reiterate to everybody that I have my own personal interaction with Lee Veltman that goes back to 2018. All right. I want to be real specific about that. Let me say it again. Before I think even Paranormal Hood was in the picture, I'm not sure when your channel went up, but I knew Lee. I would even go back as far as maybe it was 2017 when I first started interacting with Lee Veltman. I also want to reiterate that I had blocked Lee Veltman from all of my social media, and it wasn't through Charles. It was actually through Jeff Reed. Jeff Reed was telling me that he recognized Lee Veltman in my chat room. And for whatever reason, for whatever shows I was doing or whatever I was saying that has nothing to do with any of you guys, right? He was all of a sudden there, and he would be talking and relating to Jeff Reed. I knew this before I noticed Charles' video about whom he was talking about, Lee Veltman. You guys can go back, you know, because of what you said, Smoke King. Matter of fact, I'll make sure that I have a playlist. Maybe I'll title it like Lee Veltman and Gang, or I'll title it Paranormal Hood stuff, or whatever it is. But if you want to go through all of my videos and trace what I'm saying and confirm what I'm saying as to being true, you will see my first video inquiring about Charles' video. You will also see Out of Mine, Deborah Payne coming into the conversation and trying to explain things. So you're going to see that the organic discovery of who Charles was referring to. Now, when Charles referred to Lee Veltman, I knew, I didn't say it, but I suspected that is exactly who he was talking about, especially when he talked about him having money and this and that and blah, 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 because, you know, it seems to me, obviously Lee doesn't have to work, so he can spend all his time doing this, or maybe this is his job. I'm not sure. I can't prove that, but he spends enough time in it and coordinating things with other people that you would think that he would be. Now, this originally started about Lee Veltman, but then what I noticed was that Lee Veltman didn't work alone. And I also noticed that several of the other people that were associated with him would bring them on their channels and let him do what he was doing. For example, right there where you're seeing Paranormal Hood's live streaming, you see CW Chanter talking about, Lee Veltman jizzing all over the place. I think that's pretty much proof right there that your channel is aware of the activities that Lee Veltman does. Okay. Now, how I got into it with Smoke King, right, was that I tweeted a few things because I became privy to the fact, even and verified, that Lee Veltman has been stalking other women and other women have been complaining about it. And then I came out and I came out to the community in general. That includes CW Chanter. That includes everybody else that does anything that has to do with the topic of UFOs. And by the way, I don't know if you guys realize this, but I'm debunking a lot of people. So don't be sitting around on my channel and say that I'm a UFO hack. Because my channel, first of all, I'm not all about the UFO stuff as a person or anything else that I create. So don't lump me into that category. And I'm not saying that I'm a UFO contactee. I'm not trying to do anything like that. As a matter of fact, I'm going through stuff with a fine-tuned comb. I'm thinking just the same as what Paranormal Hood is doing. And I don't know if you actually realize that. I don't even know if you've actually really taken the time to understand who I am or what my intentions are. Now, when I said, do you think women should be treated? Because you know what? I proved yesterday on my last video, I showed how everybody clumps together. And then right after I did a video saying, see, 2 of my guests from 2 weeks ago on my live stream were being harassed by that group. All right, that group that ends up being in your chat room that used to have moderator wrenches. Now you took them all down, but they used to. So after I said that 2 of my guests were being harassed, that night, all those same players were over there. The only people practically, other than I think Nadia or Natasha, that took her opportunity to come and call me a UFO hack on my Twitter after your show. She's also part of your gang. Came over and harassed me even further on my Twitter. I was asking you, Smoke King, to do the right thing and care about women, really, which apparently you're not able to do. You're not able to take responsibility and say, hey, maybe I should pipe it down. Maybe I should check into Lee Veltman and see if he actually really is harassing women. Instead of intimidate me and then try to slap me with some sort of bogus cease and desist. Look, I know exactly what you tried to do. You took a letter off the internet or whatever. It's not a legal document. It's just a letter, and it's just a warning of which I don't even have to open or acknowledge or even respond to, because the court document that you would need to take me in for some sort of defamation suit, which you better have real proof about, which you don't. Smoke King, you have no proof that I said anything derogative about you. I mean, now I'm talking about you. I'm criticizing you. I'm defending myself. All right. But even that clip that I took about you admitting that you were dealing drugs while you were a manager at Burger King had no commentary of me saying anything on it. It was a clip, and it's titled with your own words. Now, you are being the Karen and going off on it as if I had made a judgment on you. That's just a video clip. So, number one, you made a mistake right there. When I'm clipping something that you said on your own show without making any commentary on it or any derogative statement, you're the one that's reacting and going off to it. Right? Right? Did I slander you on top of that? No, I showed words that came out of your own mouth about your past history. Okay? Right? Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. If it came out of your mouth, then it's you saying about yourself. It's your admittance to being involved in doing something like that. on your own channel without me even making commentary on it. But no, you had to go up on your channel and trash me and make me, because the only thing is, you know what you should have done? You should have been kind and acknowledged the fact that there are women who are threatened by Lee Veltman, and you should have done the right thing. You should have done the right thing, but you didn't. Instead, you decided to unfairly accuse me of saying something wrong about Jiggy in order to what? To cover up what's really going on? To cover up what's really happening on your channel? Prove to me that your channel doesn't harbor people that work together to harass people. Jolly Bridge Burner, Lee Veltman, 2 of them right there. I can definitely point out to that. And the second people that are involved are Robin Eaglesong and that lady Maggie Woodward, who just run around and say whatever they want to about me because I'm talking about this. You're spying in my chat rooms. You're harassing my guests. And you're harassing them in their private life with people that don't even are not even a part of this media. I have reports from 2 other people. So my question is to you is prove to us, prove to your audience that that's not what you're doing, because all you're doing is sitting around and trashing me and intimidating me, trying to intimidate me for standing up for myself and for other women. I think people need to know what is happening on the internet, specifically in this community, and how, tell me that it's not okay. Tell me that it's not okay to stalk people in their own personal life. Because it isn't. It isn't. And I have said over and over that I'm stressed, I'm scared, and you sit back there and you call me a Karen as if I'm an overreactive customer because I didn't get enough ice in my soda. No, that's not it. That's dismissing the truth that I'm saying on my channel. All right? Will Smith that like button. Thank you. Thanks. All right, so I want to show a couple of things. Just in case, I don't know if Smoke King wanted to dispute his association to the Willie guy, the mushroom grower, as if he didn't know them. But I have proof that he did. And I'm gonna share that graphic with you. And then so in case he wants to deny this, or he did deny this, Smoke King, this is a conversation between Deborah Payne, who is out of mine, and Charles Unleashed. Actually, I should probably you see it there. I'm gonna stop the share because their I think their email addresses were still on there. So I'm gonna read it to you. Deborah Payne says, I agree with you. The dodgy ball BS is just that. But when Willie said he was offering her $100K for proof, Cambion jumped on it with a starving junkyard dog. I enjoy snubbing Benjamin when he comes onto the streams these days. LOL, it drives a narcissist crazy when you ignore them. I have no idea who Benjamin is, and I'm not familiar with the $100K thing. But apparently some 100, I don't know what that's all about. Charles says, I don't know who Willie is. Does Steven actually think he's in with a chance for 10K? And here's Deborah Payne, or out of mine. She says, Willie is a weed friend of Jiggy's, comes into chat sometimes on Thursday. He's in the shroom biz. He has over 52K followers, so he should just do his thing on his platform. His followers are not into the UFO New Age crazy, though, so not sure how that would go over. But he did miss his chance to accept an olive branch, and that did not surprise me. Stubborn people are predictable. So I don't know the whole details of all of that conversation, and it really doesn't let me let me get a Bailey's and coffee, because Terry about to roast ya in 4K. CW Chanter is Benjamin. Thank you, Anne. Hi, Mario. Mario's Taco. Nice to see you. I appreciate your support today. All right, so Chanter is Benjamin. So let me read that again, just to like. Chanter is. Oh God, I just turned on to myself for a second. Chanter is. I agree with you. The fraudy jolly BS is just that. Okay, so that's I think that's a Jolly or a Jilly or whatever her name is. But when Willie said he was offering her 100K, proved Cammy and jumped on it with starving junkyard dog. His followers are not in the UFO biz. Oh, I enjoy snubbing Benjamin when he comes into the streams these days. LOL. Okay, so she's trashing CW Chanter. All right, I get it. You guys are on it, man. Okay, so let's go back just to recap who Willie is, because Willie approached me through Instagram to try to negotiate some sort of like peace between us after Smoke King attempted to like send me some cease and desist through the email that I didn't ever open. Okay, so here he is. Again, I'm Willie Miko. I'm a content creator, activist in the Canna community, Canna and psychedelic community. I hope when this DM reaches you that you're doing well. My reason for reaching out is because I recently made, I'll go through some of it again, just to kind of give you a hint, because I already did this and I don't want to go through all of it again. It's on my last video. Matter of fact, it's been shown on Paranormal Hood, I believe. My reason for reaching out is because recently I was made aware of the whole issue involving PH Jiggy and Smoke King. I typically ain't part of this community and they're involved in, but I do have a personal relationship outside of that with Jiggy, especially, but also Smoke. And so it goes on. And anyways, he basically, which I showed in my video last night, which probably half of you that are watching this live stream right now and pretending like I'm pretty sure you're probably already with, Smoke King ready to report or whatever. But on my last video and probably on his video, he's already shared all of that information and that dialogue of Willie trying to, offer me a deal in either journalism or cannabis business or something like that. And if I stopped talking about it, they would wipe everything out, and they would wipe, Smoke King would back off, and he would stop the legal whatever is going on. All right. I think that letter is just a tactic of intimidation that I don't deserve. I think I have a right to question the people that are associated with your channel and question as a group, because they do collectively work as a group in what they do to other people, and especially to women. And it's actually appalling to me to get the treatment that I have when asking the question. And I think if this is a community, it shouldn't be allowed to happen. And shame on us if we let it continue to do so. And I pretty much express that in other videos. But instead of that, I've been accused of disrespecting Jiggy. I've been accused of being a Karen, and I'm getting numerous threats and continuous cyberbullying. When it's documented, I have the receipts. If you want to take the time, anybody in your group wants to take the time and look at the research and documentation I've done on Lee Veltman, including a court document showing that he was got an unlawful entry conviction. Court documents saying that he has a restraining order, from his own family. Now, you know what? Lee Veltman can sit back and make whatever excuses he wants to, and he certainly has a right to defend himself. But the fact of the matter of it is, these documents are legitimate. So how do you dispute that? How do you dispute the fact that when I proved that everybody that I was speaking about 2 nights ago were the only people pretty much in your chat, other than I think Nadia, who also took a turn at trashing me and bullying me on my Twitter after your show? And don't think for 1 second I don't have documentation. You're the person that continues, and I'm talking about, I don't know Jiggy. I don't have a beef with Jiggy. My problem is with you, and you, Donnie, represent the Paranormal Hood franchise right now on YouTube. And you have not done your due diligence in making sure that women are protected on the internet. But apparently you have something to cover up, because my opinion is, you're trying to cover up and intimidate your activities by doing what you're doing and not being a person of integrity. All right, come after me. Pony up some money, get the real court document, have it served to me, and let's go to court and see if you even have a case, because you don't. You would be wasting your money. But if you want to do that, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, I'm asking you to cease and desist and stop your bullying and your harassment of me and any of my guests. One more thing I want to show you guys before I go. This is somebody that I'm assuming that Smoke King wants to call a Karen, but I'm going to show it right here. This is another female YouTuber, Lee Veltman and Company, L&C links and connections. And I'm going to go ahead and let a little bit of it play and maybe skip around just to kind of give a flavor of what's going on with her. I've seen parts of this video before, and she is another woman who is claiming, talking about Lee Veltman and Jolly Bridge Barner. But I guess according to Donnie, this would be a Karen, because they're not doing any of this. All the women that are claiming of what's happening to them, we're just all Karens. Like it's not, there's no responsibility on the part of your team. I know I'm calling them a team. Maybe they're not a team, but the people that are associated with you, Donnie, that you are attacking me for questioning their association to you. This is what they're doing to other women on the internet.
Beautiful people, How's everybody doing today? It is Wednesday. I am PJ. I hope you don't have to turn your sound
wait.
down.
I got it on the wrong thing. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, let's go back. I'm glad I caught that. Okay. She said I'm twiggered, which is a Lee Veltman taunt. All right, just let me go back to that. It's a Lee Veltman taunt. All right. You know what? Hey, if anybody, Lee Veltman, where are you at in all this? Are you going to let Johnny do all your dirty work, right? Is Johnny your hitman? I mean, is Donnie your hitman? Donnie's your your brute, huh? You're gonna sit behind the wings of Smoke King. Let Smoke King do all the dirty work for you.
Super duper loud. I am triggered. Apparently, I am triggered, you guys. Who would have thunk, right? So let me give you guys a minute and make sure that you guys have the time to come in here. Please, if you can, if you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you can get my content when it comes out. Hi, Nezzy Pie. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Amy. Lisa Lake. Good to see you. Hormonal Rage. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I am really putting a trigger warning because I'm going to be screaming. I'm going to be telling you what all occurred today. Here's my screenshots of all of the transactions and the back and forth. And I'm just going to read it straight out to you because this is my experience and my experience only. So I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody else. Hi, Layla. Good to see you. I'm speaking for myself and I'm speaking for only myself. There's a lot of people involved. I'm trying to get comfortable, you guys. I'm so sorry. But there's a lot of people involved in this whole mess, chaos, group of people. I don't even know what to call it anymore. But let me get started, okay? Take a deep breath. For those of you guys that follow along and that are in the anti-Cajun community, the truther community, the community between Steve McRae and Unirock, they've basically infiltrated every community that I know of. And these people that I refer to is mainly Lee Veltman, okay? Lee Veltman is an individual that is single. And I'm saying this just for backup information in case you guys need some factual information to make your own decision. I will never tell you guys to just follow what I say. Do your research. Try and see if what I'm saying is truthful just by doing your own research. And that's how I would do things. So I'm just suggesting to you that you do things the same way. But what has been happening, okay? I feel like I got to start from the very beginning because the reason that I had any interactions with Lee was because he was upset that my friend Hannah Banana would not respond to his messages. He wanted to have private phone calls with her and he wanted her to speak to him on the phone. So I guess he figured the next best thing would be to contact her friend, me, and get me on the phone, which I did. I got on the phone with him probably 2 times, maybe 3 max. And he's very aggressive when he gets upset because you don't understand what he's saying. He yells, and he yells a lot. And so I can see why it probably most likely 99% triggered Hannah into never wanting to speak to him ever again. But that's my perspective. This is not me speaking on behalf of Hannah. This is not me giving any information other than what I personally witnessed and what I personally feel as for the shit that's happening and how I'm relating to it and how I'm responding to it, okay? And so, again, this individual that's the problem is Lee Veltman, okay? So, those of you guys that are in the communities that I mentioned earlier, I'm certain you have seen this individual. And usually when he comes, it's him and another individual. her name is Jolly Bridge Burner, and she is his #1 enabling psycho co-partner, co-conspirator, whatever you want to call her. She is his butt cheek. She follows him around. She does what he wants, and she just does all of his enabling. Like if he says jump, she'd say how high, and then she would proceed to jump. And that's, again, my perspective. I'm not telling any information as factual information because I truly don't even know these people. That's what's crazy about all of this. I don't know these people in real life. This is the internet, okay? And so you got all that out of the way. That's the main base story of how I was introduced. The guy wanted to talk to Hannah. He couldn't get to her, so he thought he would get to her through me. And I tried. I really tried. I had 2 or 3 phone conversations with him where I was trying to understand him. I was trying to understand what he was trying to get at. I was trying to understand what his message was. At one point, he wanted to do a show with me. He wanted me to interview him. And I'm like, dude, if I'm going to interview you, I need to know what it is that you're going to speak about in this interview. And he couldn't tell me what it was. And so I'm like, my mind is blown. Like, why do you want to do an interview if you can't even simply tell me what it is you want to be interviewed on? Like, hello? And I'm getting flustered because it's insanity, you guys. It's insanity. So for those of you guys, I keep getting off track, but for those of you guys that have seen Lee Veltman and Jolly Bridge Burner in chats together, they are usually speaking only to themselves or mainly to themselves. They will say hello to everybody, being polite and, hey, how are you doing? Good to see you, that kind of thing. But after the initial hellos, they go right on into, about the mole kids and the blah, blah, blah. And they go into their whole little world of back and forth and chatting. And 99% of that audience in that particular chat has no, and I'm going to curse. Hopefully I don't get demonetized. I do need a little bit of extra help with YouTube, which is why I do YouTube. People that tell you they don't do YouTube for the extra little bit of cash are liars. I'm sorry. It helps a lot with like little tiny bills that, it just helps. But hopefully I don't get demonetized on this video because I didn't get paid this month, so it's okay. But let me take a breath again, because like I'm saying, this is so frustrating because it's like these people are insane. And so how do you talk to people rationally that are not sane unless you have to go part insane yourself in order to have a conversation with that insane person? It's just how it works. And I don't have that capability. Hey, thank you for the super chat, Chronic. But I don't have that capability to go to that level of insanity. And you'll see, because I'm going to read the transcript from where I come into the chat. And this is today. This happened today. You guys can go look at it for yourself. It is on BX Beast Boy's backup channel, Garfield Speaks, okay? And it is a stream titled T-Spiracy, Anti-KJ Community, and Roadhog, and Real Entertainment interview and his thoughts on those topics, okay? So you can go there and you can look at all of these and you can see that everything that I've got here is verbatim what got said. And so I just want to explain to you why I feel how I feel and why I feel these people are straight up insane. They need help. They need to go to the mental asylum. And I'm going to tell you all about it here. And this, I want to make sure you guys are aware, this is not the first time this has occurred. Now, if I went off and started snapping like this over one occurrence, I would be the crazy one, okay? But this type of back and forth from these two individuals happens in every single chat that they go in. It used to happen in Charlotte stream. It happens in EKC stream. It happens in BX Beast Boy stream. It happens in Roadhog stream. I personally witnessed it and kept my mouth shut. And those of you guys that know me know keeping my mouth fucking shut is close to impossible because I'm biting my tongue. I'm writing things and I'm erasing things and I'm writing things and I'm erasing things. And I'm like, ignore it, ignore it. These people want you to react, ignore it. And they do. And this is going to prove to you that they do want me to react. And I'm going to tell you exactly what they're doing. And just wait, okay? So I'll get started in reading this because I've got about 30 minutes. And with the way this is going, I could seriously go on and on about what the hell has been going on. Mind you, again, this may not sound that bad to somebody, but think about this type of stalking and harassment and poking at somebody on a whole nother level because it's happened for months in several people's chats with several people watching it. And I know you guys, some of you guys in chats know exactly what I'm talking about because you've seen it. You've seen the two of them converse in a chat log somewhere and you're like, what the fuck are these people talking about? Nobody knows, but nobody has the nerve or the, it's almost like people feel bad for them because they're slow. So they're not going to approach them and be like, hey, you guys, what are you talking about? You fucking weirdos, right? I'm not the one. I will tell you how it is. And especially once you get me to this point, because I've been quiet, I've been kind, I've been tippy-toed around them, I've been watching them come into chat and leaving because I don't feel like looking at their bullshit. And I've also been sitting there politely having back and forth with them while I've been a mod on certain channels, and I've just been, brushing it off at it as if it's nothing. And it's nothing. For the most part, it is nothing because you cannot get to my psyche and you cannot get to my mental health and you cannot upset me unless I allow you to. And today, you got me for 5 minutes, but just long enough for me to do this stream, explain how I feel and what I feel has gone down, and then you're going to be dead to me yet again. Okay? So we're going to start reading, okay? Oh, the chat starts at the toggle mark timestamp of 1859. For those of you guys that want to play along and look at the actual evidence of what's gone down. Lee Veltman is discussing Real Entertainment News, which, shout out to him. He's done nothing to me. He said some shit that I don't agree with, but I've straight up told him, hey, that was a shitty thing to say. And otherwise, he's had my back. And I'm going to shout him out. And for those of you guys that aren't in agreement, that is okay. I love all of you guys. But this was a stream about Real Entertainment. He was doing an interview. And so in the beginning, they're talking about some of the stuff that Real was saying. And they're trying to poke fun at him. Lee Veltman says, do you ask about the cats in a bit? I wondered how twiggered he gets, okay? This is a 50 plus 60-year-old man, and he's spelling out the word triggered as Twiggered, twiggered. What are you, 5? You're 5, aren't you? That stint that you had where you had shrooms on your bus and you got caught up and had a freaking charge, that might have really messed up your brain. I'm sorry. And
so did he get the shrooms from Willie? Just curious.
Says props. Jolly Bridge Burner says, no, don't go twiggering anyone for the love of all things holy, which actually really means, hey, keep twiggering somebody so I can have a laugh at them and keep poking at people so that they get upset and that we have content, which we'll be back to that. So then I come in, not even noticing that they are discussing things back and forth in the chat because I opened the stream because I saw Real Entertainment News, an interview, and he's a friend of mine. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this interview. And so I come in at 2020 timestamp and say, oh, hell. Jolly Bridge Burner says 33 of them, talking about the cats again. Lee Veltman says, too many in one apartment, but that's another discussion. Jolly Bridge Burner says, speaking of feral cats, which she right there is referring to me, coming into chat and saying, oh, hell, which was in regards to what was being said on the stream. So now she's brought me into it and saying, speaking of feral cats. Okay. Lee Veltman, hope they keep the same energy, Jolly Bridge Burner. Puss. Okay. Jolly Bridge Burner. Indeed, Lee. So I say, that's how he networks. Speaking to Garfield or BX, because BX was saying, why did you tag me on all those videos and all those promotions you were trying to do? And he was explaining, Real was explaining to him that that's how he gets the word out, and that's how he gets to network, and that's how he does his marketing. I mean, I thought it was common sense. Everybody gets so butthurt over little things like, oh, he tagged me in his post, and that's how he gets attention, dude. That's how his streams got attention. So anyways, then Lee Veltman says, holy moly. Then he says, Jolly Bridge Burner, those dang LNCs going to come back around fast with the unitards and Simp 19, and I'm here for all of it. Okay. Now, I already have questions, okay? Because what is LNC? I know what a CND is, like a cease and desist. Please somebody put in chat what an LNC is. Like a DNC, an RNC, like what is an LNC? Can somebody please tell me what an LNC is? Because I have no idea. And these people are trying to have a conversation with me here in the stream earlier, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, people. I have no clue. So then he mentions unitards, which he calls anybody that's ever been associated with Unirock a unitard, which he was a unitard.
Hi, PJ. Welcome. I hope you don't mind. I'm actually showing your video in conjunction with mine. I'm going through. I didn't mean to pause it there on that look right there, because you look so intense right there. Here, I'll take it. I'll take it off for a second. Let me just go back to this. I hope you don't mind that I'm showing it, because I'm just showing that what they've been doing to other people and specifically other women, more specifically Lee Veltman. I have noticed that they all are grouping together around the YouTube channel Paranormal Hood. And about a month ago, I questioned this connection. And Smoke King, who is, that's his channel. In retaliation, he accused me of disrespecting the death of Jiggy, which I never did. It just happened to be that coincidentally, when I came out and asked, when I was going through my stuff with these guys, Lee Veltman, using fake sock puppet accounts to spy on my room, causing disruption, calling other people up that I know personally, complaining about me, just all of this stuff coming to a head. And then, Charles from Project Camelot doing a video about it, and me kind of realizing he was doing a video about Lee, opened up this whole other can of worms for me. So when I traced it to Paranormal Hood, I'm at the point of not only him using my footage from yesterday, talking about it and showing graphics and proving their association, but he's called me a dumb fuck and tried to send me a cease and desist letter, which is, that doesn't really, when it's being emailed to you, it's not a legitimate court document. It has to be served if it's the real deal, which it's not. So he's just using intimidation. He's continuing to use intimidation, and he's basically calling people like you and me Karens. That's his excuse, is that we or I, and because he goes Karen. So I'm thinking it's other women coming out, maybe he's referring to Charles or not Charles as a Karen, but I'm just showing more evidence of what these people are doing on the internet to support what I'm saying, because I know that I'm not lying and I'm not making stuff up. And so, so anyway, so let's keep going on it. By the way, PJ, I wouldn't mind actually talking to you more, or even possibly doing a show with you at some point. So I'm glad that you have stopped in. What I find interesting about these people, and this is what I'm trying to make a correlation with about it all, is this connected to Buanon or people that were associated with Buanon. You know, we can't say the 17th letter in the alphabet because I know Lee Veltman was associated to it. And what is the link? Like, why do you think, or what is the common denominator between me, you, and other women and other people that they are doing this to? Because, you know, Smoke King, you know, and I want to address Smoke King for a second. Smoke King, you do your show and you talk about how you're busting the grifters and the liars and this and that. That's what I think I do. That's what I care about. I care about telling what the truth is. There's a difference with observing somebody who's a public personality and showing facts and reasons why you think they're doing something, and actually sitting in front of them a camera or a microphone and slandering them. As you can see in this video, PJ has a whole document. She has a printout of the actual conversation, and she's reading from the printout. I'm thinking you probably still have it. Just like it's my version of the screenshot. I do the same thing, only I don't print it out on a computer. I just do a screenshot. I like to show the screenshot as proof as to what actually really took place. Because if you're going to talk about things, you better have your receipts, as what Smoke King says. But you know what? The only receipts that I've seen you do with me, Donnie, is that you've taken videos of me talking about it and done your damnness to to throw in whatever your conversation over it, disputing what I'm saying or trying to make me look ridiculous, which is a tactic. Because you want to sit back in your precipice and call me a Karen and call me, a UFO disinfo person. I'm not a UFO disinfo person. I'm not a QAnon person. All right. I'm not affiliated with these things. I have my own channel. Yeah, I've walked the gauntlet in all this, and I've sifted through what I think is the truth and not the truth. And I don't think Buanon's the truth. All right. I'm not selling, I'm not promising to heal anybody with any psychic abilities. I'm not giving any elixirs. All I'm asking is that you hold yourself accountable to some of the people that are associated with their channel. One being Lee Veltman, of which I've gotten all this other stuff, all this distress. Are you prepared to pay for my lawsuit for suffering and damages that I've incurred while trying to protect myself and stand up for other women on the internet? Are you prepared to do that? Because I think you should get prepared for it. They cannot do jack to you. That is why they come out with threats towards you. They mean to use psychological tactics to run you off the internet. I'm glad that they never will prevail. No, I'm not running off the internet. I have just as much right to have a channel and produce content as he does or anybody else on this channel. And you know what? I would say you're not even as good as I am. All right. I don't even think that you've taken the time that I do to research my topics and present it to people and to show the links and to make a discussion about it. I don't see you doing that. All I basically see you doing, Smoke King, is sitting around smoking one blunt after another, trash talking people on the internet with your little cronies that tune in, like your little club, your little clubhouse happens. What is there that you're doing that's really anything that's earth-shattering, that's better than I am, that deserves to trump or kick me off the internet? It's not happening. It's not going to happen. And Lee Veltman, where's your content? Where's your content? Where's your channel? You end up, you go on Jolly Bridge Burner and you guys trash talk people. That's all you do. You run around in other people's chat rooms and cause problems. I don't see where you're contributing anything to YouTube or the internet other than being a creep and a disruptor. Med beds, right? Exactly. The med beds are ridiculous. Okay, so let's. I want to show a little bit more of PJ because I just think that, like, for you to sit back in your channel and act like, I'm making this up, that it's not happening. It's not. That's not true.
Hello, is anybody home? Is there anybody in your brain? I can't. I'm like, woosah, you guys, woosah. So he says, holy moly, he says, those dang LNCs are going to come back around fast with the Unicharts and Simp 19, and I'm here for it. Is he talking about Agent 19? Because I've never even seen a single video about Agent 19. Hi, OG. Good to see you, buddy. You're going to be mentioned here shortly, too. I got to get into this because I have people in my chat that talk to me, and apparently the people that comment in my comment section, it makes me the cult leader or the member of the cult with all of you guys, and we're out somewhere planning some sort of rebellious act against Lee Veltman or something. It's driving me insane because I'm the type of person that I need to know what something is. And if you cannot explain it to me, which he can't, I've specifically asked him, Lee Veltman, we've had conversations on the phone, my dude, and I've specifically asked you, what is this? What does this mean? Oh, well, you got to know about the links and connections and the people from Pizzagate and how they relate to the Q-tards and how the dungeons and the chains and whips and motherfucker, I have no idea what you're talking about. For the average person, for the love of God, these people are insane. Okay, so Jolly Bridgeburner says, sure do, Veltman. Funny how that works. Lee Veltman says, good point there, Carrie. And then I say, he didn't get used. He did what he wanted to do, in my opinion. And that was in relation to BX saying that he feels that Real Entertainment was used to push his content based on what the women wanted him to do, and that he was used, and then that they dropped him and left him alone. And I don't believe that was the case, because I think that, to me personally, Real Entertainment News does what he wants. There's been plenty of times where him and I had gotten back into it and gone back and forth with each other, because I would say something and he would be like, girl, who do you think you are? I'm not doing what you want me to do. So for me, knowing him personally, just be used like that. He's not the type of person, but that's just my opinion. And that's what I witnessed. So he says, Lee Veltman says, I lost my spot. Thank you for the $4.99. And Jolly Bridgeburner says, yeah, I don't disagree. Still don't make any of it right. Lee says, oh, like others did, PJ. Glad it is fair to use sock accounts online. Who used a sock account? Please tell me. Because if you're referring to some random other people that you've pissed off on the other side of the internet that made sock accounts against you, you can't say that it has anything to do with me, because first of all, I don't know who the fuck you're talking to.
First of all, I want to reiterate too that the person that I know that uses sock accounts on a regular basis, and it's been proven on my channel and witnessed by other people that are regulars on my chats and in my shows, have proven that he has used sock puppet accounts. I know he spies and comes into my chat room with sock puppet accounts. So Lee Veltman is the granddaddy of disguising his identity.
I have no idea what these socks accounts are and who they are and where they came from or what their names were even. And you guys, this is insane. Okay. So then, there's a bunch of emojis. So it's hard to read because like right here, there's an emoji, and the important emojis I did write out because I wanted you guys to know that, she put a fish line on a hook and the perfect spot where it was like, oh, we're getting you to do what we want you to do, if that makes sense. So Jolly Bridgeburner says, yeah, that's a good example right there. Lee says, Jolly Bridgeburner, karma is coming. Do you see how they just talk to each other? It's like there could be 500 people in chat, and Jolly Bridge and Lee Veltman literally just go back and forth and talk to each other only. It's like they're the antisocial kids that sit in the corner and only converse with themselves, and everybody else is chopped liver, and they're talking about their Pokemon cards that they got 50 years ago that are just extremely important, and just don't fucking bother them because they're Looney Tunes. So, karma is coming, and I said to Lee Veltman, "What are you talking about? I have no clue what you're going on about." Okay. Jolly Bridge Burner comes in, stepping in, big mad for her Lee Veltman because she's the savior of them all. She says, "Ruh-roh, that bitch has sharp fangs too." Who has sharp fangs? Okay. So then she puts that fish on the hook emoji at Lee Veltman, and Lee Veltman says, "Not shocked. You didn't get a lot of things before Preacher Boy and many others, but hope you keep the same energy and go ahead and put that video on Jolly and I back up, PJ." All right. I had to fix myself because on that note, listen up. Lee Veltman, I know you're fucking watching me because you're obsessed. You're obsessed with everybody that's on the internet, apparently. You have no fucking chill. And so I know you're up here watching me. I will not put shit back up. Do not tell me what the fuck to do. You don't control me. You don't scare me. You do not intimidate me. And you don't tell me what the fuck to do. I took a video down and it won't ever be back up, buddy. So then, where was I? I hate this. I keep coming back to the page and it's just like, yeah. Preacher Boy, I've never had any conversations with anybody in regarding to Preacher Boy. I knew he was related to some Katie drama that I didn't pay attention to because I really can't stand Katie. I can't stand all this back and forth within the Katie community. I pointed out some stuff that I didn't like that was going on with the anti-KJ people more than I pointed out stuff that Katie was doing. So I'm technically an anti of the antis, okay? So I said, Lee, you are legit stalking level. I'm not putting up with this ish. And I was trying to be respectful in the chat and not curse. So I put ish. You are insane. Coming into every chat, name dropping everyone and adding them together somehow. I am, and most people cannot follow your insanity. Come on to walk it back now, Jolly Bridge Burner. And then Lee Veltman says, "Good, PJ. Not like Synth, Donut, and many more aren't involved." Involved in what? What are we involved in? Because last time I checked, I don't even think Synth follows my channel because Synth is friends with Hannah or OG. That makes him involved with some shit that I'm involved in? No! That's not how this fucking works. That's not how any of this works, my dude. And Donut, because he comes on my channel and says hello, we're all involved. We're involved in what? Spit it the fuck out already. If we're involved in some massive, okay. So I say, get out of 2017 and get a life. For the love of God, you are really pathetic. I can say what I want to say. That is how I feel. You need help. I don't know those people, Lee. Please get help. So then Lee starts getting some shit from some of the people that are in the chat because they're like, what are you guys doing? Can you take this somewhere else? Can you not argue about this kind of stuff? We don't know what this is about. I don't understand what's happening. And so he starts getting some backlash from the people that are in this chat. And he says, I'll behave. So Jolly comes in because she can't not behave and says, it won't stop them from trying, though. How many times they gonna lie, spin, and defame and deflect? They think everyone forgets history. What fucking history? For the love of God! What history? From 2017? Let the fucking shit go, man! Why are you holding on to shit from 2017? Did somebody hurt you? Oh, did somebody hurt you? Oh, fuck, man, this is like a 60-year-old grown-ass fucking man. Okay, so then Lee says, yeah, like you don't know Yaya and Billy. And trust me, I am good. Okay. Billy says hello and chats in my chat sometimes. I know Billy. I know of Billy, but what is Billy involved in? Where are we connecting here? Like, what the fuck? This insanity, you guys. I'm at a point where enough is enough, and I will call this shit out if I have to print out scripts like this from every single fucking chat they go in and they start shit talking me and my friends. I will fucking call them out for the rest of my life because I don't fucking play this shit. So, Lee Veltman says the stuff about Billy and Yaya. I say, get help. Lee Veltman, your shroom use has rotted your brain. Get help. So,
did he get those shrooms from Willie?
I said, stop going into every chat and talking about shit from 2017. Get help. I said, because someone chats in my chat, I know them. Oh my God, seriously, you're in hell. You're insane. Get some help. Lee Veltman says, Jolly Bridge Burner, and has a fire emoji in it. Like they've done fired this up, and like they're just so excited that, you know. So then Jolly Bridge Burner says, won't be long and somebody will be running off to go get their buddies with their troll and clone accounts in one or both of our names. Lee Veltman, bitch, you are not important.
See, I mean, that's amazing to me that Jolly Bridgeborner and Lee are accusing other people of getting sock puppet accounts in their name, pretending to be them. You know, it's almost classic how you know, people will you know, like Amber Heard. Let's use Amber Heard as an example. You know, she's claiming domestic violence when in fact it looks like she's the perpetrator herself. The people who do the things that they accuse other people of, you know, that's what happened to Not Charles recently after being on my show, is that all of a sudden people were impersonating him and perping on other people with sock puppet accounts. How ironic that happens after he ends up being on my show. That we think that that's a correlation. And we also think that it's coming from the Lee Veltman camp and the Jolly Bridgeburner camp and the camp that hangs around in Paranormal Hood's chat room. Because you guys all flock together.
Name is. I've known what your name was for months. I don't give a shit. Nobody cares about you.
See, what you need to prove, Smoke King, and you can't because, you know, is that those people were not associated with you, and after I complained about it, what you did was not take care of it. You actually made it worse. And then it got worse for me, where they even spent more time spying on my chat room. There's been even more trolling and videos about me and insults after I brought it up. That is actually cyber harassment and bullying coming from your peeps, because they are your peeps. They're your fans. They're your subscribers. They're the only ones that are in your chat room. And because of you've acted the way that you are and have been, to me, it looks like your channel and what you're doing is associated to them. And what you need to do is prove that that's not true. And for me, and I think for a lot of people, you haven't been very convincing. You've only done exactly what I said that you were doing, and you've done it even more and disrupted my life. And I really think that I should be compensated for my damages from what you've done.
Your name, literally, on the internet is Lee Veltman. Now you got me all fucking sounding like a Looney Tune. So,
I mean, I'm not going to, go after you and say that, oh, I should be compensated for damages and blah, 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 blah. But within this, cyber harassment that's being allowed to happen in your camp that you're not addressing, I certainly think that would be possible for me to procure it. Because it's happened.
said, oh, and Jolly, you're not helping, enabling this lunatic. So then Lee says, OG called me on Christmas. PJ, keep thinking the stuff with Uni, Freddie, China Doll, and many
Freddie,
more.
that's fucking Freddie. I know who that is. See, all these guys are the same ones. It's the same players from back in the past. Like we're talking 2017, right? We're talking Unirock. We're talking these things. This has a genesis in that world. That's the part about this that I find to be interesting is what is the common denominator between these people, who they target, and what they've been associated with, and who's associated with them and allowing it to take place and defending them. Because basically, Smoking, you're defending their behavior.
Keep the same energy. What? All right, let me see if I can get this to go here so you guys can see what this says, because it's not even a proper sentence. All right. Let's see if you guys can see this. This part where it says, OG called me on Christmas. PJ's Not So Secret Diary. Hold on. Keep thinking, and your old friend PJ. Okay, I messed it up. I messed that all up, you guys. It says, OG called me on Christmas, PJ. Keep thinking the stuff with Uni, Freddie, China Doll, and many more will keep the same energy.
See, Freddie, back in 2018, Freddie took a video of mine and turned it around and was talking about it. And then I ended up having, I agreed to meet with Freddie via a Google chat. And guess who showed up? That when I went to the chat room, I thought I was going to talk to fucking Freddie myself. And guess who showed up? It was Lee Veltman was there too. Lee Veltman was lurking in the background. Had no idea that Lee Veltman was associated with fucking Freddie until I got kind of ambushed by fucking Freddie. There was some other guy that was on that call, and then there was Lee Veltman. And Lee Veltman I recognized.
Thinking what? Keep thinking what? What am I thinking? I'm thinking that you're a fucking Looney Tune. Okay. Jolly says, only a bunch of lunatics I'm seeing being enabled is by you and your old friends, PJ. My old friends? What old friends? If they're friends, they're either current friends or they're enemies. What do you mean, old friends? What the fuck are you talking about? This girl, you gotta excuse me. Okay. And I'm sorry, I'm not looking at chat with my, it's sideways. Billy, you're missing a lot. You're going to have to rewind. You were already mentioned. It's just you. Yeah. So, OG called me at Christmas. Okay. And Jolly says, only bunch of lunatics I'm seeing enable is by you and your friends, PJ, your old friends, PJ. So they're not my new friends. So does that mean we're still friends, or like, how does that work? And then she says, just saying, glad more people are seeing it though, PJ. What are they seeing? What are they seeing? That you're a fucking lunatic? That you talk about me and other random people and connect them together somehow in every fucking stream that you go in that has nothing to do with that? That's what people are seeing? Yeah, that's what a lot of people are seeing. You're right. So, I said, they've been doing this in every chat because at this point, I'm getting some kickback from some of the mods in BX's chat, and I'm also getting some subs that are in that chat telling me to chill out, to take a Xanax, to stop being all crazy, because what I'm saying apparently is just so crazy, okay? Well, I said, they've been doing this in every single chat that they're in, and I'm tired of it, because it's been at least 6 months, if not a year, that I've literally watched these two individuals go in every single chat that they participate in. I mean, they can go and watch the Sunday church mass, and they would be in that fucking chat talking about some China Doll and unitards and fucking mole kids, and fuck, man, it hurts my brain, you guys. It hurts my brain. So Lee Veltman says, Not like Mod X and them won't have more to say real soon, and many others. Okay, so that touched me a little bit because everybody that knows me and that's followed me knows that myself and Moderate Extremist, and I'm not going to cry, but we used to be really good friends. I considered him my brother. I love him still dearly. We got into a kerfuffle. We got into a tiff. We didn't see eye to eye for a while, but I have a very soft heart for Moderate. And so for him, I believe he knows that. I believe Lee Veltman knows that I have a soft heart for Moderate. And I believe that he's saying this just right here, just to make me have that extra kick to the gut, okay? It says, I'm going to read it one more time. Not like Mod Extreme and them won't have more to say really soon with many others. Well, what else are they going to say? Because bring it the fuck on. Okay? So I said, I don't really know OG, and therefore that, again, is not about me. Let it the fuck go. Jolly says, was quite the call too, PJ. He should have rage quit before he did, knowing the call was being recorded. Lee Veltman says, you made a hit video on us and we're the wrong ones? Okay, hypocrites. First of all, your video that is no longer up was in response to yours and Jolly's 500th video where you dropped keywords like banana and Wrangler and the donut gang and the unitards. And so in order for us to feel like we have some sort of power and some sort of ability to respond to your stupid ass, yes, we did a stream. We did a stream where we talked about how we had this and this experience with you, and we shared about what had gone down and what our perspective was. And therefore, yes, we did that stream. But in response, you threatened to show revenge porn to somebody. So if you don't like getting called out, and if you don't like being the bad guy.
Did you hear that? He threatened to show revenge porn to somebody. Okay. I just that's a new part to this. I somehow, like, when I watched the video the first time, I forgot to like take note of that. Revenge porn. So, hey, Donnie, what do you got to say about your buddy, your boy that you protect, Lee Veltman, your gang threatening revenge porn on a woman on another YouTuber on the internet? What is your response to that? What do you think the judge would be interested in knowing about something like that?
You need to stop fucking being a shit person, okay? Because everybody one by one is going to start seeing how shitty of a person you are, and you're going to have nothing to fall back on.
That's right. We are seeing it.
Because it can't just be everybody else.
That's right.
It can't be every single other people that's bad when you, in fact, are losing people one by one. All of your friends you're so upset with that you lost, that you're now raging over, they are gone because of you. You are a shit person. Get that through your thick skull. Lee Veltman, you are shit. So, here we go. I'm a hypocrite. Okay. So, then I lost my AirPod. Sorry, you guys. Then Jolly says, oh, never mind. I said, I don't care who called you again. Nothing to do with me. I wasn't on the phone call. I didn't hear what he said to you. I didn't get the recording of it. Why the fuck are you telling me about it? Okay. So I said again, get help. Then Jolly says, I'm thinking so, Lee Veltman, about the hypocrite part. So then I said, I have ignored for too long. This was me again telling someone in the chat why I was continuing to participate in this, and they all just wanted me to stop. Okay. So then Lee Veltman put crying face emoji, the emoji where you're laughing and the tears are coming out because you're laughing so hard. And he put, how's your hubby? Okay. So up until this point, I'm okay. I'm like, these people are pissing me off, but I'm not gonna fucking let them just do this to me and just sit back.
See, this is the part I want you guys. This is why I let it play this long, and I'm gonna let this part happen. But this is the part where he emotionally attacked her. This is what the kind of tactic that these people do. This is their suicide trolling. How's your hubby? Because she's going to explain how this is how this was meant to personally affect her.
Just going to keep going back and forth, but he goes to the hubby. Okay, so those of you guys that know, my husband picked up and left because he lost his job. He didn't want to find another job for whatever reason. He didn't feel like he could find another job here, and he just left me and my child here. I was devastated. I'm still devastated. And so for you to fucking come into this chat and say, how was your husband? Fuck you. From the very bottom of my fucking heart. Fuck you. So I said, no, actually Jolly said, please do, PJ. Maybe call Dr. Renee. Who the fuck is Dr. Renee? Does anybody know? So I responded in his comment on my husband. I said, how's the single life? Because clearly you're a 60-year-old loser that is single. And then Jolly put bomb emoji, boom, like she made some sort of fucking just like explosion with what she said. Because she's just so fucking witty, you guys. So then I said, I have no idea who you're talking about, Dr. Renee. Y'all are both, you tell me, PJ. And so I said, just, wow, it's so much worse than I ever imagined.
So I'm going to pretty much stop it here because I wanted to get to that point of what this went to, like where they went to, what Lee Veltman went to trigger her. And that, my friends, is suicide trolling. That's the suicide trolling that they think is funny. That's their payoff. All right. And so what do you have to say about that, Donnie? What do you have to say about this, right? I suggest it would behoove you to back off of me, stop your abuse, stop what you're doing, and clean up your house. Because you are harboring and supporting these people, and you're defending this type of behavior on the internet. And I know someday we're going to have better laws on the internet that will criminalize these people for what they're doing. And if I could do anything to be an advocate for that, I certainly would take it. And then Holly's saying, just like what Sarah Adams and her friends have done to me since 2016. Yeah, Sarah Adams is the same thing. They're all on the same team, I think. By the way, Holly, I think you, and I've said this several times and people don't want to address it or they think that I'm just being paranoid or whatever, but Taj and Lee Veltman are connected because when I was talking, I think I might have been showing a document on one of my channels or whatever, or I was talking about Lee Veltman about this when this was starting to brew. Lee Veltman called up Jeff and started going nuts about what I was doing on my show and said that he found out about it because Taj called him. Because Taj, Tahinder Gill, Sarah's manager, called them. So they're connected. They're connected. And I've also questioned, of all the people that want to criticize med beds, because I think it's bullshit too. I think the med beds is absolutely, quackery, right? But why does CW Chanter want to do a show with Sarah Rachel Adams, knowing that she's pushing med beds? And I just want to know that. Like, why do you break bread, right? Like, this is like it's like wrestling. Like, everybody is, fighting in front of the camera, but then afterwards they all sit down and smoke cigars and have a dinner together because it's all just show business. Troll it light to be fair, and Taj, yeah, LOL. Buffoonery. That was I, not I. And you know what? I'm gonna end because I appreciate you guys being here, but I've already done an hour and a half, and you know I wasn't even, like I said, I wasn't even planning on doing anything today, but I'm just like, because of, in lieu of everything that's happening, everybody gets paid, Terry, 100%. You know, I believe it. I believe like maybe I wouldn't put it past them that they're not paid to do this, that it's people get targeted for whatever they're talking about, and we get on a list, and it's just a boom, 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 boom. It's just but you know what? When you start coming into people's personal lives, when you start asking for phone numbers that you can't have, when people are having their loved ones or people in their personal life that doesn't have anything to do with this stalked, and that's getting way out of hand. That's some scary shit right there. And I'm going to talk about it, because for me, the only way to in some way be somewhat protected is to talk about it and to expose it and say, you know what, I'm hearing that there's some people, you know, that are being stalked in their personal life. This is going into a dangerous zone, and none of you want to be held accountable for it. None of you. And so I'm going to stop again. I'm going to end with showing the video again, because I just can't show this enough. After seeing what PJ said about what they said about her husband and the threat of revenge porn, let's just take a look at this again. And afterwards, I'll be saying goodbye to you guys. Good night. Wait, let me do it again.
You get to the core of a problem. I've learned these tools.
Let me talk.
To be able to attack people and to bring out their inner side. When you establish a straw man and start doing these tactics, it's psychological warfare at its finest. It's psychological warfare at its finest.
Seems like it's been a bit of a bad time for Lady Veltman lately, and rightly so. Yeah, I support what this channel's doing for sure, but don't stop there. So I'm going to join in next.
You need to do a post-analysis, man.
Listen. You know what? I predict Lee Veltman just fucking all over the place, just fucking jizzing. Just jizzing.
Buckle up.
That's it. It's going to be a wild ride, ladies and gentlemen. And Jiggy.
It's gonna be.
I'm taking my pants off.
It's been a roller coaster since day one, baby.
What happens in their private life is their private fucking life. It has nothing to do with me. I'm here for the facts about the grifters and the conners and the liars and the snake oil salesmen. That's it. I don't give a fuck about people's fucking personal lives and what they're doing unless they're fucking lying and conning and grifting and selling snake oil. So again, keep paranormal out of your mouth.
Keep paranormal hood out of your mouth. Wow.